When you go to your Scraper overview page, you can download your data as a SQLite database, or each table as a CSV spreadsheet or a JSON file. If you want your data to feed an external application, you can go straight to our API by clicking Explore with API. Now, your scraper comes not just with scraped data, but with also lots of other information, all of which you can get out using our API. Most likely you'll want the data your scraper is fetching for you. So you'll be in the second tab down, ScraperWiki.datastore.SQLite. Here you can query and extract your data via our SQL interface. So you can call your data from a URL as a JSON dictionary, a JSON list, CSV or HTML table. There's also RSS, but that's a special case that I'll go to in detail shortly. Once you've decided what format you'd like your data in, you need to write a SQL query in the query box to get the data out the way your application needs it. And we have a schema for the scraper that you're fetching the data from. So you can decide exactly how you would want each parts of the data to feed into your application. Now, from that SQL query, a URL is generated, which you could then use for your application. But to double check that you're getting out exactly what you need, you can run it straight in our API here and check that you're getting exactly what you want. Now, I'll use this scraper of US nuclear reactor power status reports to make an RSS feed for my reader. And it has special format that's needed in order to get it in as RSS. So to do this, I'll write my SQL query in a specific way, making sure I have a title, link, description, and a date. So you can rename your data fields using the SQL statement as, like so. And then I can use this URL to subscribe directly into my reader. Now I'm going to take this a little bit further by making an RSS feed not of all the reports, but only the nuclear reactor reports where there's an event log. So if we go back to the scraper, you can see in the data store, they have reason or comments. So by looking through the data, I've noticed that whenever there's an unplanned event, there is an event log number which always starts with a hash in the reason or comment field. So I'll write another scraper that attaches to this original scraper. And so can read the data store, look for the hashes, and rename the headings to the appropriate ones needed for RSS. And this is the 20-line script needed to attach that scraper using ScraperWiki.SQLite.execute. I can again just copy and paste that SQL statement to get the headings in the right name, which is needed for RSS. Then I can also make my description to use a combination of the entries in the different columns, and I can attach a GUID to make sure that every time this scraper is run, only the latest events are actually updated in my RSS. And this is where, using SQL, I can actually look for the hashes. So going to the API for this, I can just extract it with a simple SQL query, and then I can put it straight into RSS by subscribing to the URL that's generated. And as you can see, I get the name of the nuclear reactor and the written description that I've put in from the different column headings.